This is the ETBU Coaches Show here on a beautiful Tuesday morning. I'm here with a champion, head women's basketball coach Rusty Rainbolt. You already know who I am, Mark T. Robinson. And we are about to get into it, Coach. You guys had two impressive wins this weekend, defeating Sul Ross State and playing it tight with St. Thomas University of Texas here. So your team had a dominant effort in both games, wire-to-wire win. So from your perspective, just kind of talk to me about, what you thought of your team's performance this weekend against two quality opponents.
We were, after watching film and, reflecting on everything, there were definitely a lot of positives that came out of this past weekend. We had a lot of different girls that play a lot of different roles, have to step up and take on some different roles because of personnel being in and out and all that kind of stuff. And, starting with Sul Ross on Friday, we were really challenging the team to focus on, blocking out on every single possession and taking care of the ball and just valuing every single possession. And I thought we blocked out better. I thought that we turned the ball over way too much. And then I don't know that we valued every possession the way we needed to as a collective team. There were a lot of really good individual performances, but collectively as a team, if you go back and just look at every single possession, we didn't play as well on Friday as what we need to get better. Turn around Saturday with St. Thomas, and they were super aggressive, athletic, great rebounders, tough kids, picked us up full court and pressured, and I thought our kids played much better. We only had 8 turnovers in the first half, and that was phenomenal. And we started out super fast and on fire, making shots, and just kind of jumped out on them, and then controlled the game for the rest of the game. But anytime you can play 80 minutes of basketball and lead for all 80 minutes, never trail, you've got to be proud about some things. But we did have some really good performances from some other people that stepped up, so that was good to see.
Absolutely, and got my handy-dandy notes here, stat sheet from this past weekend, and one of the things you really emphasize is rebounding, assist-to-turnover ratio plus 30 on the glass against Sul Ross State, and then you had 20 assists against St. Thomas, so kind of a 1-to-1 ratio there in terms of that. So just kind of talk about, what has been the key to that. Is that something that you guys have really emphasized in practice coming into games like that?
Yeah, I think to be an elite team at the highest level, you have to rebound the ball. You have to be aggressive on the offensive end, but you have to secure the boards on the defensive end. You can't allow good teams to get extra possessions. So we have been emphasizing that a lot the last couple of weeks. And then the assist-to-turnover ratio was a huge factor. Coach Henson went back and statted the last 5 years of teams that won the national championship in all levels, Division 1, 2, and 3, and the NAI national champions. And there's never been a national champion that had a negative assist-to-turnover ratio.
Wow.
All 4 levels, for the last 5 years, so 20 national champions have all had a positive assist-to-turnover ratio. So that right there tells you everything you need to know. Like, that's not the guarantee that you can win it, but it's pretty guaranteed that if you don't take care of the ball and pass it and catch it and shoot it better than you turn it over, you will not win. And so the St. Thomas game is the team that has applied the most pressure to us, but it's the first game all year that we've been not negative in assisted turnover ratio. So we were pleased with that, but we just continue. We still got to get better in that. So that's a huge focus for us right now. And again, with all the different moving parts that we've had just through the first 4 games in terms of lineups and newcomers and point guards going in and out and 2 guards going in and out, it's been a challenge, but I think we're getting better every day.
Absolutely, and one of the things also that has been huge this year, you talked about individual player development. You guys have done a lot of skill work in practice from what I've seen so far this year. And in those particular games this past weekend, players like Elena Johnston have stepped up in huge roles. Paige Royal has scored 8 points in about a 7-minute stretch there in the game. But one of the players that has really started to take that next step is Hannah Hudson. She is really not only been tough on the defensive end and solid offensively, she's worked on her ball handling, because that was one of the things after her first year here that we've kind of talked about. Every time I see her, are you working on your ball handling? Are you working on kind of taking it off the dribble a little bit more? And she's done that so far for you guys.
Absolutely. We've had a lot of girls that have really improved and worked hard on their individual skills. But there's two on our team that have dramatically increased their ability to make plays, and that's Hannah, like you said, and then Mallory Stevens as well. Those two girls have really improved in so many different ways offensively that it has made our team much better. But Hannah's a kid that she's the hardest working kid we've got on the team. I mean, she's in the gym every single day doing individuals and skill work and watching film, and it's been cool. We talk about it all the time, the biblical principle of the seed that you put in the ground will produce the fruit that you harvest. And so many times in our life we want the harvest of good fruit, but we're not really willing to break the soil, put the good seed in, and be patient enough to let it grow. And Hannah and Mallory both have been great examples of, if you put seed in the ground and you continue to put seed in the ground and you continue to put the right environment around it and add a little patience, you will bear good fruit. And so it's just been amazing to see those two girls' growth as basketball players, because they are the epitome of, if you work hard and you put in the effort, at a certain point you will start to see the benefit of it. So just really, really proud of those girls. And again, it's a life lesson, for all of us. We want to think better. We've got to start putting in better seed in our mind. We want to feel better. We got to start putting better seed in our body. And so it's just cool to see that.
Absolutely, and it kind of goes within you guys' theme for this year, faith the size of a mustard seed and moving mountains and things of that nature. So definitely something that's great to see out of your team in a real life aspect. But one of the interesting things also this past weekend that I've noticed, your twin, Summer Rainbolt, has been kind of on the bench with you guys really since your first year here. She's kind of been, shadowing you a little bit. How long before she takes your job? That's the one thing that I've been.
That's funny you say that, because my dad texted me after the game, and he said before long you better watch out. Somebody's going to be trying to hire her out from underneath you. So I said, well, probably one day I'm going to be asking her for a job. But it's such a blessing. Dr. Blackburn and Ryan Irwin, our president and our athletic director, from the time they interviewed me and my wife and family for the job, they promoted family, and they've talked about the importance of honoring the Lord and loving your family while we're doing this job. And I am very thankful that I get to work at a place like this that allows me to be authentic to who I am. I wouldn't take another job. I wouldn't work anywhere that people wouldn't let my family ride on the bus, wouldn't let my kids and my assistants' kids and our community of ETBU family be down on the court or be in the locker room or experience this, because I think too many people take this stuff way too serious. Yes, we're here to do education and mold kids and win games, yes, but our families come first, and most people in athletics and in business don't value that. And I love the fact that I work for people that genuinely do. And so it is such a blessing to be able to have Summer sit down there with me. She's my middle daughter, though. I've got an older one, Bailey. Bailey doesn't like any spotlight. She likes to sit in the stands and she watches everything. And then I've got Riley Rose, the little one, that's down there. She's usually running around, jumping up in the stands, doing crazy stuff. But It is nice to have Summer over there. Even though every once in a while I have to tell her to tone it down, because she's got to where she's kind of like Dad. She likes to stomp that foot and get after the officials a little bit. So
that is absolutely awesome, Coach. But you guys are back at home this weekend, taking on a Trinity team, as just talked about before the opening of the show here today, that they're possibly receiving votes in a few polls here. They've won a national championship back in 2003, I believe. Their women's basketball program. So this is a team that coming in is no stranger to big games, no stranger to big performances and coming up with big wins. So just kind of talk to me about you guys. What is the focus here in practice to take on this type of opponent?
Well, Trinity is a fantastic team. They're as talented as anybody will play all year. They're as well coached as anybody will play all year. They're experienced. They're winners. Cameron has done a great job there. His kids believe in what they do and how they play. I love to watch them play because in years past, I feel like we've kind of played the way they do in terms of pressing and attacking and going. And so I have a lot of respect for them and what they do. But it's going to be a challenge. It really is. I mean, they've got some fantastic players that can make plays off the bounce, in the post, shoot the three, and they really play hard on defense, and they just believe in what they do. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. I love the fact that we get to keep playing, good teams. I mean, Trinity is going to be a great opponent, and then it just keeps going. And so it allows our team to be tested every single day and try to be our best, and ultimately that's what we want to do. But if we can go out and win more possessions against Trinity than they do, that will mean a lot because they're a good team and they're well disciplined and well coached. So we're excited about the matchup.
Absolutely, and
need a big crowd out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was just about to say that's a great segue to you guys checking out the ETBU Sportsnet. Go ETBUtigers.com. Check out everything that's going on here in ETBU athletics. Our women's basketball team will be taking on Trinity on Saturday at 1 o'clock p.m. here at Ornella. So come out and support your Tigers. Coach, thanks again for having us here on the show. And once again, this is the ETBU Coaches Show. We'll be back with yet another coach. You'll see who it is on the other side.